Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, coin lovers, collectors, and curious minds. If you've ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, it's just 1 cent, then buckle up, because today's story is going to make you look at that little copper coin in a whole new light. Today, we're zooming in on one of the most misunderstood and overlooked coins in your change, the 1966 Lincoln penny. It's a coin many people think is just ordinary, common, worthless, even. But under the right conditions, this one little cent could be hiding a secret worth thousands. So if you've got an old penny collection lying around, or even a dusty coin jar, it's time to take a much closer look. Now, let's set the stage. The year is 1966. The Beatles are dominating the charts, color TVs are becoming the new household luxury, and America is deep in cultural change. And during all of this, the US Mint is quietly striking billions of coins to keep up with the rapidly growing economy. Among those coins is the 1966 Lincoln cent. On the surface, it doesn't look much different from any other penny you've seen. It's got Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But there's something different about this year, something that most people completely overlooked. In 1966, the US Mint made a very unusual decision. They removed mint marks from coins produced in all US facilities. That's right, no little d for Denver, no s for San Francisco. All the coins just show the date, 1966. Why? The Mint was trying to discourage coin hoarding during a time of major coinage reform and economic transition. So they standardized the coins, hoping the public would stop treating coins from certain mints as more valuable than others. What does that mean for you? It means every 1966 penny looks the same, at first. But not all of them are the same. And that's where things get very interesting. You see, while most 1966 pennies were struck perfectly and released into circulation, a small number were struck with unusual errors, mistakes that happened during the minting process. These kinds of errors are extremely rare and, to collectors, incredibly valuable. One of the most coveted errors is the double die. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by misaligned dies, causing parts of the design, like the date, the word Liberty, or even Lincoln's face, to appear doubled. On a 1966 penny, that kind of doubling can be subtle, but if you know what to look for, it stands out. And it sends collectors into a frenzy. Another highly sought-after error is the off-center strike. This is when the coin wasn't properly aligned in the press, and the image is shifted off-center. Some of these off-center pennies are dramatic, missing a chunk of the design, with part of the coin nearly blank. These mistakes were never meant to leave the mint, but a few did. And they're now worth far more than their face value. And then there are planchet errors. A planchet is the blank metal disc that gets stamped into a coin. If the wrong metal was used, or if the disc was cracked, clipped, or imperfect in any way, the resulting coin can be extremely rare. Some 1966 pennies have turned up with strange surfaces, missing details, or even unusual colors, signs that something went wrong during production. But even if your penny doesn't have one of these dramatic minting errors, don't walk away just yet. There's one more factor that can make a 1966 Lincoln penny valuable: its condition. That's right, even without an error, a 1966 penny that's in mint state, meaning it's never been circulated, shows no wear, and has its full original shine, can be worth a surprising amount. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, and anything above MS 65 is considered investment worthy. Most of the coins we see in circulation are nowhere near that condition. But if you happen to find one that was tucked away for decades, untouched and protected, it could be worth far more than you think. And here's something you may not know: 1966 was one of the last years that pennies were made entirely of 95% copper. Starting in 1982, the mint switched to mostly zinc, due to the rising cost of copper. That makes pre-1982 pennies more desirable, especially to metal collectors, but it also adds historical weight to coins like the 1966 penny. It's part of a legacy that's slowly disappearing. So how do you know if your 1966 penny is valuable? First, check the surface carefully under good lighting. Look at the date, the lettering, Lincoln's profile, and the edge of the coin. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Then, ask yourself, is the coin damaged, scratched, or worn? Or does it look unusually sharp and flawless? If it looks uncirculated, and if you spot anything unusual, doubling, off-center strike, or texture flaws, you might just have something rare. Whatever you do, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can instantly reduce its value by destroying the original surface. If you think you found a rare or mint condition coin, store it safely and consider getting it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC, because every now and then, a coin like this shows up at auction, and the results are nothing short of astonishing. 1 1966 Lincoln penny, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in exceptional condition, was submitted to a major auction house. Experts verified its authenticity, confirmed its rarity, and gave it a high mint state grade. The buzz among collectors was electric. And when the final gavel came down, this little copper cent, originally worth just 1 penny, sold for a staggering $79,000. Yes, you heard that right. $79,000. For a single penny. So before you dismiss that old coin you found in a drawer, remember this story. The 1966 penny is a coin most people ignore, but for a lucky few, it's a once-in-a-lifetime find. Check your change. Dig through that old coffee can. Your next big discovery could be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're embarking on an exciting journey into the world of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1963 Lincoln penny. You might think of pennies as just spare change, but this particular year, and some special details about it, could mean that your ordinary coin is actually a hidden treasure. The Lincoln penny, featuring the profile of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, has been a beloved fixture in American coinage since its introduction in 1909. By 1963, the design was well established, showcasing Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But while millions of these pennies were minted, some stand out from the rest and have become highly sought after by collectors around the world. 1963 was a pivotal year. America was navigating through a decade of profound change and cultural evolution. The coinage of that time reflected a moment frozen in history, a small yet powerful piece of metal carrying the story of the era. But what makes the 1963 Lincoln penny truly special isn't just the year, it's the mint mark. Unlike some other years, the 1963 penny was minted in 2 key locations: Philadelphia, which generally did not use a mint mark, and Denver, where coins bear a small D mint mark just beneath the date. This mint mark identifies the location where the coin was struck and can greatly impact the value of the coin. Collectors particularly prize coins with the D mint mark from 1963, as they were produced in slightly lower numbers compared to Philadelphia's output. However, rarity alone doesn't tell the whole story. The real value lies in condition and unique characteristics. In coin collecting, condition is king. Coins that have survived decades without the usual wear and tear, no scratches, no dents, no fading, are considered mint state or uncirculated. These coins look almost as if they just came off the press. An uncirculated 1963 Lincoln penny with a clear, sharp D mint mark is a gem and highly coveted by collectors who understand its significance. Beyond condition, some 1963 pennies also exhibit fascinating mint errors that can make their value soar. Imagine a coin with doubling on the date or lettering, known as a double die error, where the image or text appears slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during minting. Such coins are rare and command significant attention in the numismatic community. Another eye-catching anomaly is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted to one side, missing part of the image entirely. These quirky mistakes, once considered flaws, are now prized collectibles because they tell a unique story about the minting process. It's important to note that even the metal composition plays a role. The 1963 penny was made primarily of copper, 95% to be exact, before the U.S. Mint switched to zinc-coated steel in later years due to material shortages. This copper content adds to the coin's desirability, especially among metal enthusiasts and collectors. So, how do you know if your 1963 penny might be worth something special? Start by inspecting the mint mark. Look for that tiny D under the date. Check the condition. Does it still shine? Are the details crisp and clear? And if possible, look for signs of any errors or unusual markings. Even the smallest clues can dramatically affect the coin's value. If you suspect you have a rare or mint condition 1963 Lincoln penny, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable service such as PCGS or NGC. A certified grading not only confirms authenticity but can also increase the coin's market value substantially. Now, here's the thrilling part you've been waiting for. While most 1963 pennies you find might be worth just a few cents or dollars, certain rare specimens, especially those with a pristine D mint mark, error characteristics, or exceptional condition, have been known to fetch extraordinary sums at auctions and private sales. In fact, there have been documented sales of 1963 Lincoln pennies with these rare qualities that reached an astonishing price of $73,000. Yes, $73,000 for a single penny. So next time you stumble upon a 1963 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to appreciate its history, its unique qualities, and the incredible story it might be telling. You just might be holding a coin that's worth far more than its face value. Today, we're diving into a fascinating chapter of American numismatics by exploring the story behind a coin you might overlook in your pocket, the 1967 Lincoln penny. This small, humble 1-cent piece carries a history far richer than its value suggests. If you think all pennies are created equal, stick around, because the 1967 Lincoln penny, especially those with specific mint marks and rare traits, might just surprise you with its hidden worth. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, paying tribute to one of the nation's most revered presidents. By 1967, the design was well established. Abraham Lincoln's profile graces the front, with the Lincoln Memorial proudly displayed on the back. But the 1967 penny comes from a unique era in U.S. coinage history, a time when the country was undergoing significant cultural shifts and the U.S. Mint was making subtle changes in production that collectors today find captivating. In 1967, coins were minted in two major locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia coins, interestingly, had no mint mark during this year, while Denver coins bore the familiar small d beneath the date. This absence or presence of a mint mark might seem trivial at first, but for collectors, it's a critical detail that influences rarity and value. What makes the 1967 penny particularly intriguing is the context of the minting process. During this period, the U.S. Mint was grappling with rising metal costs, production changes, and evolving collector demands. Coins were struck in massive quantities, yet very few have survived in pristine condition today. Most pennies from this year have gone through countless hands, wallets, and cash registers, leading to wear, scratches, and fading. But here's where it gets really interesting. The 1967 penny has some notable minting errors that can dramatically increase its value. For instance, a rare double die error can occur when the coin is struck twice by a misaligned die, causing the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile to appear doubled or blurred. These double die pennies are extremely rare and highly coveted by collectors worldwide. Another exciting category is off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted, sometimes missing large portions of the image. These error coins, once seen as flawed, now command high prices due to their uniqueness and rarity. There are also die cracks and die clashes on some 1967 pennies, minute imperfections that add character and intrigue, turning an ordinary coin into a fascinating collector's piece. Beyond errors, the coin's condition, or its grade, is a key factor. Coins that look as if they were never circulated, retaining their original luster and sharp details, are especially valuable. Experts rate such coins as a mint state or uncirculated, and a 1967 penny in this condition can attract serious interest from collectors and investors alike. The metal composition of the 1967 penny is another important aspect. At that time, pennies were still made predominantly of copper, specifically 95% copper with 5% zinc. This makes them more appealing compared to later zinc-heavy pennies introduced in the 1980s, not only for their intrinsic metal value but also for their historical significance. Now, if you're wondering how much these coins can be worth, especially those with the D mint mark in excellent condition or featuring mint errors, prepare for a surprising revelation. While most 1967 pennies are worth just their face value or a small premium, some rare specimens have soared in value. There are documented cases where a pristine, error-free 1967 Lincoln penny with the Denver mint mark, graded at a very high level of preservation, has sold for an astounding $70,000. Yes, $70,000 for a single penny. This incredible value is a testament to how even the most ordinary coin can become extraordinary with the right combination of rarity, condition, and history. So next time you come across a 1967 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Check for that elusive D mint mark. Examine the coin's surface carefully, look for any doubling, off-center strikes, or other unusual traits. And if it gleams with the shine of a brand new coin, you might just be holding a valuable piece of history. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a fascinating piece of American history, the 1980 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary penny, but trust me, this little coin has a story and value that can surprise even the most seasoned collectors. Now, the Lincoln wheat penny series is iconic in the world of numismatics. Though the original wheat design was officially replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, many collectors hold the wheat pennies in high regard because of their classic design and the historical significance they carry. The 1980 penny, while technically beyond the wheat penny era, is still part of the broader Lincoln penny story, especially if you find one with certain special attributes, including rare mint marks and mint errors. The 1980 Lincoln penny was primarily minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. What makes these coins interesting, particularly those with the Denver D or San Francisco S mint marks, is the limited production numbers in certain conditions and the potential for rare errors. Coins from this era were struck in huge quantities for circulation, so they seem common. But spotting one in pristine, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare mint error, is like finding a needle in a haystack. Collectors prize 1980 Lincoln pennies for several reasons. First, condition is everything. Coins that have avoided circulation wear, retaining their original mint luster and sharp details, are incredibly rare. These coins often receive high grades from professional grading services, which can significantly increase their market value. But beyond condition, what really fuels collector excitement are the mint errors, things like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors, which occur when the coin is misaligned or struck twice, create unique variations that make the coin one of a kind. An error can transform an everyday penny into a rare collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the most sought-after varieties is the 1980 penny with a double die error on the obverse or reverse. Such coins display a doubling effect on the date or lettering, which stands out to the trained eye and collectors alike. The rarity and distinctiveness of these errors make them highly valuable. In fact, the market for these coins has seen a surge in recent years. Auctions and private sales have seen intense bidding for high-grade 1980 Lincoln pennies with mint marks and errors, reflecting growing interest from collectors and investors who know these coins could be future classics. Now, for the exciting part, the value. A flawless, rare 1980 Lincoln wheat penny with a mint mark, especially one featuring a recognized mint error, can command an astounding price. We're talking about a coin worth $97,000, yes, you heard that right, $97,000 for a single 1-cent coin. This incredible valuation is a testament to the passion of coin collectors and the hidden potential in everyday objects. It's amazing how something so small can hold such monumental value when history, rarity, and condition come together perfectly. So, next time you come across a 1980 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Check for the mint mark, inspect its condition, and if you notice anything unusual like double dates or letters, you could be sitting on a rare treasure. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more fascinating coin stories, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep hunting, because your next big find might just be a penny away. Today, we're unlocking the story behind a seemingly ordinary piece of American currency that holds an extraordinary secret, the 1980 Lincoln penny. You might think a 1-cent coin from 1980 is just spare change, but if you pay close attention to its details, especially the mint mark and condition, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of history. The Lincoln penny is one of the most recognized coins in the United States, honoring the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, since 1909. By 1980, the design was well familiar: Lincoln's profile on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design introduced back in 1959. But the 1980 penny, like many coins from that era, has a fascinating story that's well worth exploring, especially when you consider the different mints producing it and the special traits some coins have. In 1980, pennies were minted primarily at two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver mint coins carry a small D mint mark just below the date, while Philadelphia pennies generally don't feature any mint mark at all. That tiny letter can make a huge difference in the coin's rarity and value. What makes the 1980 Lincoln penny so interesting to collectors is the combination of its mint mark and certain unique minting errors. While millions of these pennies were produced for everyday transactions, not many have survived in perfect or near-perfect condition. Most coins you find in circulation show signs of wear, scratches, or dullness. But the rare ones that are uncirculated, looking as fresh as the day they were struck, are in high demand. Now, let's talk about errors, because that's where the magic happens. One of the most sought-after mistakes is the double die error, which happens when the coin is struck twice due to a misalignment in the minting process. This creates a shadow-like doubling effect on the numbers or letters, making the coin unique and instantly collectible. A 1980 penny with such a doubling on the date or inscriptions can command significantly higher prices than its standard counterparts. Another captivating error is the off-center strike, where the design is noticeably shifted, and parts of Lincoln's face or the Lincoln Memorial are missing. These coins are essentially one-of-a-kind, making them prized collector's items. Add to this die cracks or die clashes, small imperfections from the minting dies themselves, and you get coins that tell a story of their own. The metal composition also matters. The 1980 penny is primarily made of copper, about 95%, with the remainder being zinc and tin. This composition adds to the coin's intrinsic value compared to later pennies that were mostly zinc-coated steel. If you're wondering how to spot a potentially valuable 1980 penny, start with the mint mark. Look closely for that tiny D under the date. Next, check the coin's condition under good lighting. Are the details crisp and clear? Does the surface still shine? And keep an eye out for any unusual doubling or off-center designs. Coins that meet these criteria are often submitted to professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, which verify their authenticity and condition. Having a coin graded can significantly boost its market value and make it more attractive to serious collectors. So, what's the value of such a remarkable coin? While most 1980 pennies are worth just a few cents, those rare, high-grade, mint-marked coins with notable errors have made headlines by selling for jaw-dropping sums. Believe it or not, a flawless 1980 Lincoln penny with the Denver mint mark and unique error features can fetch as much as $61,000. Yes, $61,000 for a single penny. This just goes to show that even the smallest pieces of metal can hold enormous value if you know what to look for. So next time you're sorting through coins, don't overlook that 1980 Lincoln penny. It might be the treasure you didn't know you had. Thanks for sticking around for this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1980 Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin mysteries and treasure hunts, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on the next exciting discovery. And if you've ever found a rare coin or have questions, drop a comment below. I love hearing your stories. Remember, sometimes the smallest pennies carry the biggest surprises. Happy collecting, and until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your coins even sharper.